Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
Well, this is the Wick Theater on call right here with Kimberly Wick. Thanks for coming in, Kimberly. I know you're so busy, but this is probably isn't. I know that with the theater, you're on a little bit of a hold, I guess.
Well,
in a sense.
Well, first of all, I love being here with you, ANITA. You know that.
Thank you.
And we love having you at the theater. And
I wouldn't miss it.
This is a time when, like, all of our summer work is starting to kind of come to fruition. Because, you know, the show's only right around the corner. The cast arrives on Tuesday, and we open on the 18th of October. So this is the wind down. So we haven't really been sitting on our hands all summer. Trust me. We've had lots of things going on at the theater and lots of projects to make the theater and the experience better for our guests. So now is the time when we're like, okay, they're all going to be here soon. We got to get going.
And, you know, before I let you get into all your enthusiasm, I have to tell you what makes the difference. Besides your shows and all your extra things, when we go to theaters usually, you see it, you're happy, whether it's a movie, something,
sure,
and you go home. Mm-hmm. But not at the Wick. Oh. The Wick, you get to relax and hear more and see them and for an hour, that's what you've created, which is so spectacular.
Well, I think that that's really a lovely sentiment, and I think that our guests do generally tell us. Our usher pool, our ambassadors, said, you need to stop calling it like going to a show. Coming to the Wick is an experience. So
that's true. It is because it starts, it ends, and it doesn't end.
Yep. It just keeps on going.
And your mother and you are just such beautiful hostesses. Anyway, let's
talk
about what people are going to be able to see.
Okay. Well, Pirates of Penzance is right around the corner, and that is really exciting. And all of you ladies need to get ready because the guys are all dreamy, one after the other.
How many people in that show?
I think there's 24 in the cast.
Please.
And, of course, we always try to do a little bit smaller show to start, but Gilbert and Sullivan was something we needed to do, and it's one of my mom's favorite shows, and it's just a piece that will bring back so many memories for so many of our guests. So it just made sense. So we did it. That's, a little bit more than we usually do to start the season, but it'll be wonderful.
And I think people better buy their tickets now because I think this is a sellout. So let me give you a phone number, please. Yeah. It's 561-995-2333. 561-995-2333 or thewick.org. And I'm serious. You're not going to be able to beg anyone for a ticket on this. Just go get it.
Yeah. And then we have slot number 2. Annie with Sally Struthers. And, at the beginning, we had a little feedback from our audience, like, why are you doing like a kid's show? We've all seen it so many times. And then we said, but you've never seen Sally Struthers, and she's the Broadway Mrs. Hannigan, and we even have the Broadway Sandy, the Broadway dog, who's going to sing along. He's going to sing, tomorrow with Annie. And then as soon as we announced that Sally was going to be in the show, well, the ticket sales are crazy. We have, of the entire season, we have 3 already performances sold out for Annie. And people are buying, 40 tickets. I'm bringing all the neighbor kids, and we have special pricing for students and children for that show.
So where does Sally live now?
She's in L.A., I think. I'm pretty sure she's in L.A., and she's very active. She works in Agunquit, Maine a lot, so a lot of our guests down here certainly have been to to see a show at the Agunquit Playhouse. And I've actually worked with her there myself years ago as a dresser and a costumer. But she's a delight, and she just brings, she practically ad-libs the whole show. She's done it so many times, so it's just fresh every time. And our audience is going to love it. Love it.
Well, and I hope that the audience that listens to our shows have been to the Wick, because we talk about them all the time. But the one thing you'll notice, the costuming, the set design, besides the fantastic voices, that's what's making you unique.
Oh, thank you. Wait till you see the set for Pirates of Penzance. It took 4 25-foot trucks to get it here. We had it built in West Palm at a new place that we just started using. It is beautiful. They've executed every little detail. And now our scenic artist, Jim Buff, who's painted so many of our sets and also contributed to the costumes and costume design as well, he's got, Broadway credits, that go on 20, 30 years. So he is turning that into magic right now. He's painting it today. That's why I'm dressed in my painting togs. I said, oh, Anita. But anyways, then we've got the big show, the January slot, and that is, of course, Funny Girl. And we hired the most amazing Fanny Bryce. She's out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and she'd have to be can to play sing that. And just she's adorable. And oh my God, the show's gonna be off the charts. And then Crazy for You, and of course we bought the Broadway set, so it's coming in here next month, and then we're gonna start scaling it down a little bit so it fits on our stage. And then of course the last show is Always Patsy Cline. Oh, and Mother and I hired her as well. She is from Canada, and she sounds, we listened to like 15 girls that all have done Patsy Cline all over the country. And I said to my mom, and we both love her, I'm going, no, she doesn't quite have that twang. And then the next one, nope, she's not quite. And then we got to her, and you she both just knew, sounds, right? We both looked at each other and we went, well, that's her. And we didn't even let anybody be involved. So if she's horrible, we're going to be in really big trouble. No, she'll be unbelievable. So we've got a great season. And then you know about the concert series.
I do. You are now on, this is interesting.
I'm on Facebook Live.
Yeah, Facebook Live. And William Walden's watching.
Oh, wow. Oh, no.
So yes, I know that's what really makes it very special that you do have all these other things popping up. I just saw something on my email. Yeah. What is that now? Jazz.
We just had jazz last Sunday for the first time. A little jazz cabaret jam session. Well, my mom said, Kimberly, I bet we don't sell 330 tickets. We had 100 tickets. We didn't want it. It was in the lobby. We didn't want it to be too packed, too whatever. She goes, we won't even sell 30 tickets for that. Well, Anita, we sold 110 tickets. It was packed. People had a fabulous time. It was so much fun. They had light bites and dinner and danced and sang, and cabaret singers got up. Not quite as many cabaret singers as we wanted. So for the next one, we're going to do it every month, the third Sunday of every month.
At what time?
6:30.
Okay.
And
it's inexpensive too. I remember.
$25. And that pays for because there is a small band there that we've paid to be there, so we are always assured that we'll have and one or two singers. So that way that covers the cost of that, and then the rest of the night is drinks and cocktails.
Right. And Seth Levy is on, and now William Walden put us
gave us a thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Oh, good.
But that's a great idea that you've done that.
So much fun. And then we have concert series. So it starts, our first concert is right after Pirates of Penzance, just before Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, and that's a tribute to the Carpenters. And they happen to be from Fort Lauderdale. They're right really in our backyard. And
then people are going to be singing.
They sound just like the Carpenters.
I saw something. I saw a trailer.
And we have all the videos online at thewick.org. And you can see all the concerts. There are 7 concerts scattered throughout the season, right in season. We have 3 amazing cantors. One is from New York, and 2 are local. One from Miami and one Boca Raton, doing a wonderful 2-evening Hanukkah show for our wonderful Jewish friends that we want to, them to be included in all the festivities at the Wick. So we have that. Because, there's a little Christmas in Annie, so sure. We want to make sure that we acknowledge their faith. Oh, no, it's going to be wonderful.
Lovely.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, they're really beautiful. They've been rehearsing, and they put the show together, and it's going to be really great. And let's see, later in the season, we have a tribute to John Denver. The gentleman happens to be from Colorado, I believe, and his show is amazing. He sounds just like it. Just like him, and these are all things that I really love. So my mom's like, well, I don't know, am I a John Denver fan or not? I'm like, but not everything is for everyone, so it's a really great mix.
We also makes you and your mother so good because
we kind of try to work together.
I
hope
you do.
We fight pretty good too.
I know you do, but you love each other so much.
Absolutely. Then we have 7th Avenue. They're kind of like a little hip hop group, not hip hop, but yeah, a little hip hoppy. Definitely younger, a little bit younger audience, which we want our audience, again, to have something for everyone, to introduce them to our space and what we do there and what we love. And hopefully they'll come and see a show, then they'll fall in love with a Broadway show, and then we can make patrons out of them. And they're not so young and hip-hoppy that their moms wouldn't want to come too. So it's a really great mix. They do a lot of a cappella. They sing the song Hallelujah, which we've all heard 1,000 times. The most magnificent rendition of it. Again, go on our YouTube or go on our website.
See, that's what you have now. You're putting a lot of live YouTubes on your website, which is fabulous.
Yeah, which is good because then people get an idea. Yeah, an idea of what it's all about. Because you can say what something is, but unless you see a little clip of it, it really helps. Kind of sell it in your mind or whatever. Yeah, it introduces you to them.
When I saw the one on Carpenters. You don't know this, but when I married Bill, it was We've Only Just Begun. So I saw it. So I didn't know if I could really come. Isn't that funny? I didn't know. I didn't know because it was so perfect. I'll hold your hand
through the whole night.
It was so perfect when I saw them. Oh, my gosh. They're beautiful.
Oh, amazing. Then we have the inspiration of Broadway. All Broadway show tunes, as you would expect. The one gentleman was Valjean in Les Mis on Broadway. I mean, these are talented men. And then we have kind of the New Year's Eve weekend. You're going to love this.
Oh, my goodness.
We have Lance Lipinski and Rock Baby Rock. He was the Jerry Lee Lewis in $1 Million Quartet on Broadway and in the national tour, or eventually he did both, I believe.
I saw that. That was pretty exciting.
He can play every instrument. He's unbelievable. And I think this is a fabulous opportunity to get the whole family to the theater because, grandmother and grandfather and mom and dad might remember him as, he's doing
right.
Jerry Lee Lewis.
Right.
But younger people, even younger than me for sure, will think, holy cow, how awesome is that? I mean, he plays the piano upside down and it's a great, great show. So we're excited about that one. What am I missing?
I just heard on NPR, the sister of Jerry Lee Lewis, because she's a singer and she's a composer. Right, she was on. So I mean,
cool.
You'd mention it now, but he was a one and only.
Oh yeah, one and only for sure.
You're right.
And this young man, he really
studied him, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, every inch of him. The John Denver show is the same one that was on PBS. So this guy is very well respected.
I always am amazed at you all. I mean, I have to say this this is a personal thing.
Yeah.
When I go to see your mother and she's working, I mean, she has 10 things on her desk.
Yeah, we don't do well without chaos. We're really not.
No, but it's beautiful to watch her, the brain that goes, and then you come in and you ask her questions, and then she's designing shows. It's like, I can't imagine what your mother would do if she didn't do this.
Oh, no, I can't either, actually.
And, we haven't taken time to talk about the new costume. The costume museum.
My museum is going to be, I think, the best one we've ever done. And, of course, how do you beat Liberace and Bling from last year?
Yes.
But this year's exhibit is titled Those Were the Days. It's a celebration of the 50s and the 60s.
Oh, my.
And I just got off the email chain with the Doris Day folks, so we're getting pieces from her.
Oh, my.
Joanne Worley is sending stuff from Laugh-In. Nanette Fabre, we just got her amazing dress. We're working on Elvis stuff. I mean, we're working on that. I'm not saying that that's going to be, I've been working on it for months. But hopefully that will come through in the end. I mean, we're probably going to end up with about 30 celebrity pieces. And then, of course, we're going to highlight it opens as the dawn of television. And it's all about I Love Lucy. Of course, the Lucy exhibit in the museum is sending us 2 pieces. We've already got Vivian Vance's costume, and we're waiting for Lucy's to come.
Well, I have to stop you a minute.
Okay.
So, is this what you do? Yours is your museum is really yours in a sense. Mm-hmm. So you spend a lot of time on the phone talking to people to get all this, don't you?
Getting all those pieces because our Broadway wardrobe and we have so many. I mean, we have almost 80 wardrobes, but so for next season, I said, the Grease wardrobe with Brooke Shields is adorable. It's the brightest, most lively thing you've ever seen. And then we have some pieces from Bells Are Ringing that our guests have never seen. They've seen this one particular set of clothing, but they've not seen the fun day wear. And then we have Bye Bye Birdie. And by the way, we've spoken with Cheetah Rivera. And that is hopefully, we've got. So you start putting together the kind of basis in my mind. I'm already thinking about next season. But you start working on the basic stuff of what our wardrobe would support and be interesting to see. And then it's like, oh, well, now that I've done that, now it's all the 50s shows. So now I have to have what happened in the 50s that changed our lives as far as entertainment goes, television. So sure enough, we've got Ozzie and Harriet, and I've got all kinds of costumes coming.
But when someone goes through, I want everyone to understand, within the Wick Theater, there is a costume museum, and that's what Kimberly's talking about. And then you can actually, there are tours.
Yes.
That you have lunch, you can have the tours.
Yeah.
And so
it's a show all of its own.
It is.
It really is.
And you have something.
Yeah.
See, this is so unique for
I know.
And people may not know that your mother, of course, started a lot of this before she had the theater, because she started a costume shop.
Yes.
I would call it a shop.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I first met her with the little story with the two little girls she had, and we were all making
Santa
costumes.
suits.
Yes. and for Halloween and Santa suits. So tell us, now you have moved, and you're in your huge facility, aren't you?
Well,
not the Wick Theater.
Not the Wick Theater.
No, forget that.
Yeah. No, Costume World has moved its corporate headquarters to our facility that some of our guests would remember as our first museum, because we were there for 2.5 years in our warehouse. And that warehouse in Pompano Beach off of Powerline Road was where we housed all of the Broadway clothes and kind of separated them from our other non-Broadway clothes. Now it is all under one big roof in a state-of-the-art 45,000 square foot facility that I will tell you, you really get a workout walking around that place.
Yeah, I definitely want to go there.
You've got to go
see that. I haven't done that yet, but I have
and
to.
People can still rent costumes for Halloween there. We have a small retail area that we're really trying to phase out the retail a little bit and just, have the rental costumes. But if you're going to a special soiree this Halloween, that is definitely the place to go. And again, they're available at costumeworld.com. And you can get all the information as to location and hours and so forth.
The other thing that I heard, because I'm a friend of Marcy Gorman, and she told me what your mother and you are doing to help them with their shows. I mean, you do so much for so many people.
Yeah.
And then someone says, oh, well, they're shipping this out to Chicago, and this is going shipped there. I mean, how do you keep this all together, Kim?
Well, my mother keeps it. My mother keeps all the rentals together.
Amazing.
But every day we sit down in the morning and have a production meeting. And of course, when I worked there, which I did for 20 some years, we would look down at the schedule and it would say, okay, we've got 32 costumes going out today. Tomorrow we have 280 costumes. Friday we have 450 costumes. And we just go through and there are some folks there, my mother included, that kind of speak to the clients, organize what they want, what they need for their show, and then talk to the client about exactly the details via the director of what they're looking for. And then we go through, we make cards, they send us measurements, we make cards for every costume that is needed. Then we go into the wardrobe as designers and pullers, because we're pulling costumes out of the racks, and we go in and we put the right card on the right costume, the appropriate costustume for that person.
But with the measurements, you were saying
the
give
client
you
sends the measurements,
and you sew it to fit.
We alter everything to fit.
I can't even believe this. I mean, I am still sitting here in such shock. But
then we put it all on a rolling rack,
that's
and then
what I
it
want
goes.
To know. How do
then
you
it
do
goes
that?
to the back to the area where we do all the alterations, and there's about 10 machines there, but there's about 5 technicians there, plus a cutter and draper and tailor. So then they just alter everything to fit. It goes back on a rack. It gets inventoried, goes in a box, and it gets shipped to theaters all over the United States.
When you put it into a box, how does it keep from getting wrinkled? I mean, how do you?
We press everything before it goes.
Yeah. And
we put, a garment bag down over it, a plastic garment bag. And you'd be surprised, it actually shows up looking quite nice. Especially,
oh my goodness. And this is now you're doing your own shows.
Yeah, this is, and we're doing our own shows up there. So it's crazy. But,
Kimberly.
the field, we work with a lot of different designers all over the United States. So they now know our wardrobe so well that they'll call us and they'll say, for Oklahoma, instead of having all the girls in gingham dresses, I'd like them to be in dresses covered with quilting, quilts. So go to the 7 Brides for 7, they know our wardrobe. They'll pull those 6 dresses and I'll use those instead of the quilt. Our stock is so vast. And of course we do a lot of high school work as well. So you have to have, they don't have, 8 girls in the chorus. They have 30 girls in the chorus, So our
what
wardrobe is enormous. Then we build it. If we don't have it, we make it.
Okay, but if you're taking in some dresses to fit for one thing, what happens when it comes back to you? And have you already cut?
No, we don't, you don't cut anything.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's always there.
So if we're making 6 costumes for a chorus of young ladies, and we have 2 girls that are a little taller and a slightly bit larger, that we'll make their costumes with extra seam allowance. So down the road, when we need a little bigger one, then we'll take it from those. But I'd never take a size 2 costume and try to put it on a girl that's a size 12. We've got enough wardrobe. We don't have to do that.
Now I'm going to ask you a funny question. You were just trained because you're smart. How did you and your mother really know how to do this?
My mother is the smartest lady you've ever met, and she has something that so many of us don't. She has no fear. She's
a warrior.
No, she's not. My mother, she doesn't worry. My mother just does it. We all can talk ourselves out of anything. My mom just does it. She doesn't overthink these things. She's like, yes, we can. She has such a positive outlook, and she knows she can do anything. So she just does. When money's tight or something else, she'll be like, well, it'll be okay. We just don't spend a lot of money that day. She's smart about things, obviously. But I think the most important thing about her success is that she has no fear.
I love this. I know she'll hear this because
I'll probably be in trouble.
No, I wanted to talk about the show, but I want to talk about your mom and you too because
she's amazing.
What you've done something. I don't think people even realize what was there before you did this. It was a theater. Mm-hmm. It was a very nice theater that had been there for a long time, and they did very good work.
Yep.
But when your mother came in, it was like, well, who is she and what is this going to be?
Yeah. And it's like a breath of fresh air.
Oh.
People tell us that all the time. Like, Kimberly, even to this day, I walk in here and I just feel happy. I just feel like I'm in my living room,
right?
But it's bigger. And that's the way we want people to feel. And when we were I know we've discussed this on the show before, but when we were thinking about doing the theater and, we didn't have a lot of time to horse around with it. So, one of the things when I was doing the research is that the whole experience is supposed to start before you get to the front door, and that's like the valets get you out of the car. And
they are so nice.
Yeah, they are. And it just, the whole thing just feels like a happy, positive thing. Some of them don't like the valet line at the end of the day, but I'm like, where are you going? What's 5 more minutes? Let's just relax.
But let's talk about your restaurant and your food.
Yeah.
Now, what are you doing there? Because I haven't been there since it changed.
Well, our chef that we had last season is just finishing up a contract that he has in the Keys for the summer. So he'll be back, and we'll be up and running, and new interesting ideas and menus. Very Mediterranean, clean, yummy food. Yeah.
Supposed to have Mediterranean.
So I'm sure that our guests will enjoy it. And it's it really needs to be like a theater supper. It can't be big, heavy food so that you're going into a show. Nobody wants to be overwhelmed with a huge meal before they're going to sit down and watch a performance.
No, but it's always,
it's nice to be able to have that available.
People float in, and some people are dressed up, some people aren't. And I love what your mother does at the very beginning, and when she's not there, you do the same thing. You really thank everybody, and you really make everyone feel good, like it's a family.
No, it is.
And because your theater is not huge, every seat in the house is
there's
perfect.
not a bad seat. There's not a bad seat. There really isn't. Well, my mom laughs the other night, or was it last night? We went over to a little place to pick up a little something for dinner real quick at 9:00. That's when we left the theater. But anyway, so these 5 ladies came out. Oh, Kimberly, Mom's like, and I said, well, here's my mother. I have to introduce her. Mom, this is the big wick. I'm just the little wick. And she goes, and they're like, oh, it's so nice to meet you. I've heard so many fabulous things. Da da la la la. And they give me a big hug, and they give Mom a hug. But that's the way we are. So I guess that's a good thing. Yeah. We're Italian, so we all hug.
That's right. It's a very good thing. Yeah. But the one thing I want to ask people, we want you to buy subscriptions. We really do. Yeah. Because you're going to find you won't be able to even get tickets if you don't. And so I want to give your phone number again to call. It's 561-995-2333. Again, 995-2333. Or I want you to go onto their website, thewick.org, because you will find so many things we've been talking about.
Oh, yeah, and those videos are great because they really tell you about all those all the concerts. And they're just 1 and 2 night concerts. I mean, some of them we've already have like 70 tickets sold. I'm like, oh, we might have to add another night or something, you know.
So that should be your worst worry, right?
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah.
But the other thing, though, about this whole thing is that you can bring friends, and you're never going to be disappointed. You know, that used to happen when you would bring someone and say, oh, and they didn't like the show. The one thing that I have always been amazed at, and I know that my husband, too, when we would see the costumes and we would see all the new shoes and all the hair pieces, and where are they getting all this?
No, we have great wigs. We've got a great wig master. Doug Lucas is a fabulous wig master, and I am telling you, I hate going to a show, and I see lots of theater in South Florida. And the costumes look great, and the scenery is wonderful, and the actors are talented, and then their wigs are flopping around like they just stole them out of a bag. I'm like, no.
Right.
So, I mean, it's important that you get the whole picture, that every part of it is enjoyable.
Well, you're enjoyable. The theater's enjoyable, and I want everyone to go. You got so much going, and love to see you there. And remember, buy season tickets, but we also are looking for sponsors. We want some big sponsors, everybody. This is the place you want to put your name. Attach your name to the Wick Theater.
And
we're going to work on that.
Great things, great places to put their names and all that stuff.
Oh,
Anita,
yeah, you do.
Thank you for having us again. I love being with you. I love you.
The same thing.
I loved Bill, and I brought her a little picture today of her beautiful husband.
Oh, my gosh.
Her late husband.
Looking at it right from when, oh, gosh.
And,
anyway, it's a great experience, and I will be seeing you very soon, I'm sure.
Perfect. Thank you so much.